Every gardener knows the feeling. You walk into a store, see shelves lined with fertilizers promising instant results, and walk out with a bag that costs more than the plants it's meant to feed. But what if I told you the secret to rich, thriving soil doesn't come from a factory, a label, or a chemical formula? What if the most powerful plant food costs nothing at all, and it's already sitting in your backyard? The truth is, long before synthetic fertilizers flooded the market, farmers and homesteaders knew how to build soil that kept feeding itself year after year. They didn't rely on brand names, they relied on biology. And that same knowledge can still make your garden nearly self-sufficient today. So let's break down the forgotten method that turns your soil into a living engine. No purchases, no chemicals, just nature doing what it was designed to do. The secret to feeding soil for free lies in understanding how soil actually eats. To most people, soil is just dirt, a dead substance that holds roots in place. But in reality, soil is a living ecosystem made up of billions of microorganisms that need to eat, breathe, and reproduce. Fertilizer feeds plants directly, but natural soil health depends on feeding the organisms that feed your plants. These include bacteria, fungi, protozoa, and earthworms that work together to break down organic matter into nutrients plants can absorb. The most efficient way to feed this living web isn't through chemical nitrogen or phosphorus, it's through organic matter. In a healthy system, fallen leaves, decaying roots, and composted scraps form a continuous buffet for soil life. When these materials decompose, they release humic acids and natural compounds that improve soil structure, water retention, and nutrient balance. This cycle requires almost no input once it's established. The key is learning how to build and maintain that cycle. A simple example is what happens when you leave grass clippings on your lawn. Instead of bagging and discarding them, you're allowing nitrogen-rich green matter to break down and return to the soil. Within weeks, those clippings decompose into organic carbon, effectively creating a slow-release fertilizer at no cost. That's the same principle you can apply to your garden, no matter the scale. If there's one system every grower should master, it's composting. Not the modern, complicated version filled with ratios and thermometers, just the natural process of returning organic waste to the earth. Traditional composting, well, it uses what's already available. Kitchen scraps, leaves, garden trimmings, and even cardboard, You simply layer these materials, let oxygen and microbes do their work, and in a few months you've got black, crumbly soil food that feeds everything it touches. During decomposition, microorganisms generate heat as they consume the waste. This process, really fascinating, transforms raw scraps into humus, a stable, nutrient-rich material that acts as both food and structure for your soil. Spread it over your garden bed and you'll see results within a single growing season. Stronger roots, better moisture control, and fewer nutrient deficiencies. The best part? It's literally made from garbage. One effective approach for busy growers is trench composting. Instead of managing a pile, you simply dig a narrow trench between your planting rows, fill it with organic waste, and then cover it with soil. The microbes below will handle the rest, turning that buried material into nutrient-dense soil over time. Farmers in Europe used this method for centuries, long before synthetic fertilizers existed, and honestly, the results are still unmatched in terms of sustainability. One of the most overlooked free soil feeding strategies is planting cover crops. During the Cold War era, homesteaders rediscovering pre-industrial farming techniques realized something fascinating. Even when they stopped planting cash crops, the soil remained fertile if they grew so-called green manures like clover, rye or vetch in the off-season. These plants captured atmospheric nitrogen and built root biomass underground, feeding the microbial life that sustained fertility through winter. Modern gardeners can do the same. After harvesting your main crops, sow fast-growing cover crops in their place. Their roots stabilize the soil, preventing erosion, while their leaves capture sunlight and carbon, returning it to the ground when they decompose. When spring comes, cut them down and let them rot in place, or lightly till them under. That's an entire season's worth of free fertilizer created by nothing but time, sunlight, and biology. For example, planting crimson clover in your vegetable beds after the summer harvest can, replenish nitrogen and carbon without adding a single synthetic grain. When it dies back, the decaying roots leave behind air pockets that improve drainage, while the decomposing biomass feeds soil microbes well into the next planting cycle. The natural fertilizer cycle depends heavily on two kinds of workers, earthworms and fungi. Both break down organic matter into plant-ready nutrients, but they do so in different ways. Earthworms physically digest organic waste, turning it into castings rich in nitrogen, potassium, and trace minerals. Fungi, especially mycorrhizal species, form these fascinating underground networks that actually attach directly to plant roots. These fungal filaments, they extend the root system's reach, allowing plants to access nutrients and moisture that would otherwise be out of range. When fed with organic material, like decomposing leaves or compost, these fungi really thrive, creating a sort of natural nutrient highway beneath the surface. To encourage both worms and fungi, it's best to skip tilling and chemical fertilizers. Instead, maintain a layer of mulch, straw, wood chips or shredded leaves over your soil. This top layer keeps the environment moist and protected, while also providing a steady food source for worms and fungi. Within just a few months, you'll notice your soil texture shifting from dry and crumbly to dark and sponge-like. That's really the mark of a truly living system, The first step to a self-feeding garden, honestly, is to stop throwing away organic matter. Every kitchen peel, wilted leaf or grass clipping, it all has value. Instead of bagging them, just layer them directly over your garden beds as mulch, or if you prefer, start a compost pile nearby. And remember, keep the soil covered at all times with organic material. Bare soil is, frankly, a dead invitation for erosion and nutrient loss. If you're starting from scratch, well, begin by feeding the soil in stages. First, add compost or decomposing mulch this season. Then, next season, introduce cover crops to build deeper fertility. Over time, your soil will develop its own internal system of recycling, requiring fewer inputs each year. It's a slow but permanent transformation, one that replaces dependency with natural abundance. The forgotten truth is that living soil never needs fertilizer. Before the fertilizer industry, farmers sustained entire civilizations on nothing but compost, manure, and decaying biomass. Their secret was consistency, not chemistry. Every harvest returned something to the earth: stalks, husks, or fallen leaves that fed the cycle anew. Those same principles still work because nature hasn't changed her rules. So, before reaching for that next bag of fertilizer, just take a moment to look at what you already have. The best soil food, honestly, costs nothing, wastes nothing, and creates life from decay. That's the real heart of regenerative gardening, and really the foundation of every truly sustainable system. If you found this deep dive valuable, don't forget to subscribe to Hydro Haven and, share this video with fellow growers and history-minded survivalists. Together, we can revive the lost art of feeding the soil the way nature intended, freely, endlessly, and for generations to come.